Hey y'alls, I'm back yet a third time. This time to give you some insights for your final project, Milestone 1, Museum Exhibit Proposal. Okay? So, first, download the final project proposal outline template, all right? And you can find that in the final project rubric, okay? I'll try to add it as a separate link or download in the written portion of my announcement to make things easier. Right? But I'll pull it up here. Hit that. Boom. You should be able to see it. Let me enlarge that. Dun dun dun. Okay. This is pretty self-explanatory. It walks you right through it. This is a basic template that you can use to develop your proposal. In fact, you're required to use it to make your proposal. What's the name of your cultural group, all right, that you selected? And, pick one that you're interested in. Just don't be like, yeah, that one over there. Hopefully in reading all your initial discussion posts, you all seem to have a fascination about particular things. So I encourage you to explore those. All right. So pick a group. What region do they live in? Describe it. All right. Where in the world, what continent, what state, what country, what geographical location within that place. Are they up in the mountains? Are they down in the river valleys? Descriptive. Climate. What's the climate of the area? Is it hot and humid? Is it dry and arid? What's the environment like? That kind of gets into where I was talking about, like the geographic location up in the mountains, in a desert, yada yada. Supporting information. Why did you select this group? Right? What interests you about them? Okay, and this can be a very personal thing. Don't be aiming to go fill some gap in the archaeological record. Right? That's not what this is about. Okay, this is about you developing a museum display. Okay, which is a completely different critter. It's more about gathering existing information and presenting it in a way that is meaningful to the public, right? That they get something out of it. So you might, maybe one of your reasons is there's not much known about this group, right? Be able to explain that, though. Don't be like, yeah, well, I want to do this because there's nothing about it. Well, come on, give me more. Interesting points. What makes the group interesting to you? Why should museum visitors need to learn about it? Yada yada. And you can see, I'm just walking right through this, and you can literally use this Word document and enter your stuff in. That is fine with me. You could also do it up in a completely new document, right? But use the same headings. Okay. Because those are the things I'm going to be specifically looking for. All right. If you're not addressing one of these points, I have to take points away, and I hate taking points away. All right. It's one of my least favorite things to do as an instructor. Context. Why do you think the group has enough researchable information to make a museum exhibit? That is important. If you pick some group that nothing's known about, where are you going to find information on it? Right? So this is more about the viability, right? Is there enough existing context that you could actually make a museum display about this group? Interesting artifacts, features. So, what's so cool about this group, archaeologically speaking? Okay. Representative artifact feature. Does it appear that there is a type of artifact or feature that is representative of your cultural group? Right? Remember we talked about normative processes, and those were really looking at kind of general patterns, right? Like, Oh, projectile points are an easy one to go with. Projectile points, there's a million of them. We use them as diagnostic tools. You may have heard of Clovis points, right? Well, they're named from where they were found in Clovis, New Mexico. But it's a very unique type of point. And Clovis, New Mexico, is not the only place that they're found. In fact, I found Clovis points in North Carolina and here in Oregon. Awesome points, by the way. It's kind of like I don't know. It's not like it's pretty special to find one, to say the least. And to hold that in your hand is wow. I've been working on being able to make one. Hard stuff, let me tell you. Anyway, but that Clovis point may be representative in that area of a particular group at a particular time. Ha ha! All right, you see how I just put all those together? What's the current status of your cultural group? Right, this is getting more into if they're a living group, you need to be able to explain that. Moving on here. Historical cultural events. Does your cultural group have a rich history of historical and cultural events that will make your museum exhibit informative and engaging? This is all about getting you to think about the big picture at the end, your museum display. Okay? Research background. Has your cultural group been studied by archaeologists? Well, let's hope so, because if not, this project isn't going to go forward. Okay? Potential sources. List 3 to 5 credible sources. And by credible, I mean the general standard for a credible source is a scholarly source. That could be a published book, a published article, particularly in a peer-reviewed journal. I'll even accept National Geographic, even though it's not peer-reviewed. But personal blogs, Wikipedia, things like that, no. Okay, because they're not credible, right? Little secret. I actually go into Wikipedia and insert false information just to trip my students up. So don't go there. Don't do it. Avoid it like the plague. Be sure to look at institutions, right? That's a credible source. Like if you were to look up, for example, where I live, there is the Museum of Natural and Cultural History at the University of Oregon. Well, guess what? They're a credible source. Okay. Academic institutions, research facilities, professional associations, all good. Avoid the Wikipedia-like stuff, personal blogs, yada yada. Don't want to see those at all. No dictionaries, no encyclopedias, no. Begin to list sources for images, right? You're going to need images for your display, right? Because what's a display without images, right? It's not like you're going to actually have the feature or artifact, okay? So we got to work with, the other stuff, the existing images that you can find out there. So it says your final exhibit will require the uses of at least 3 images that represent your chosen cultural group and the story you want to tell about them. Yeah. So yeah, I mean this should be pretty straightforward. Just work your way through it, and I suggest getting a jump on this at the start of the week, right? Because you can see, you saw how I picked apart these questions. Right? You saw how I'm like, okay, well, this speaks to broader things, and you're going to want to consider those. That's the sort of stuff I want to see in this, all right? Because you start thinking about those things now, your project at the end is going to reflect it, all right? And that means it's going to be solid. It's going to be good, all right? And that's what I want to see. I want to see you all excel. Make sure you use the template or replicate the basic structure. See how it has the bolded areas. If you're not going to use this template, I expect to see those replicated in whatever document you produce, because those are the things I am looking for. Oh, and of course, check out the associated rubric. Always have the rubric in hand. So yeah, I think that's all the yeah. Those are the basics that I wanted to cover for this. Think of it as a fun thing. This is all about you getting to explore what you want to explore, and when it comes to academia, you rarely get that opportunity. Okay, most times you're being forced through a system where you have to regurgitate stuff, right? Not here. Here you get to explore the thing that you want to explore. And I want to see your passion. I want to see your enthusiasm for it. I mean, why else are you taking foundations in archaeology if you're not interested in this stuff, right? Cool. That's where I'll leave this. I'm sorry if I rambled on too much, but I'd much rather you guys have more information than not enough. Have a great one, and I'll see you in the discussion boards. Bye.